So hey guys, this is David at New Meta. We're going to try something a little bit different today. I'm bringing in a good friend of New Meta, Dakota from Strong Collectors. You may have seen some of his videos on YouTube. You might already follow him. That's fantastic. If you don't, do follow him on YouTube. He and his counterpart Jordan talk all things action figures, a lot of stuff that you'd probably like to hear. But today he's going to be with me, and for the first time, we're going to be trying something out that is really probably what we'll call like the new meta face off. So if you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, you've seen our periodic videos where we take teams of six that we create with some type of theme, and we pick, two strategists, two tanks, two DPS. And for those of you that are unfamiliar, DPS is like your damage per second character. That's literally what DPS stands for. So those are your attackers. Your tanks are your big tough guys who take all the damage and keep everybody protected. And then your strategist can be kind of like a healer or a smart guy. They're like the leaders that kind of have unique powers that can maybe support the team. So yeah, supports or strategists is kind of what we'll call them. So anyways, since Dakota is the guest today, we're gonna let him pick first on what the theme will be, and yeah, we'll each kind of create our teams of six, and then when we're all done, you guys can vote on them, comment on whose you think is better, and yeah, we'll just have some fun with it, and hopefully talk about some cool figures. But
All right. So
all right,
the category, and I think I've maybe commented this on almost every single one of your TikToks and Instagrams, even commenting back and forth between the Strong Collectors account and my personal account. I've been trying to get
yep,
a winged character category out there, and now that it's my turn to pick, I'm choosing wings.
finally, yeah, I am not surprised. I have noticed that you've been using both accounts to like try to get that idea across to us, and of course, we'll let you kind of backdoor slide into it now that you're on here. You can use that idea, and we'll finally do your winged character. In fact, you won't just get six; we'll get 12 winged characters. So I guess you
There we
win
go.
double there. Um, so yeah, I think to start things off, we'll go back and forth. So like you will maybe start with we can start with
Okay.
our tanks and then go each do our tanks and then DPS, then strategists, and then we can just kind of talk through them from there. So I'll let you
Okay.
lead off
So I'm gonna
if you would
go.
like.
I've got for my tanks. I've got a new figure and an old figure. My old figure is going to go way back to the Masters of the Universe Origins, and I'm going to choose the green Granomir, I believe is how you say his name. He's a big dragon dude. I think this was a PowerCon exclusive. It's not one that I own, but I would love to because I guess I love winged characters. Being a dragon is even cooler. I'm not getting the big Mythic Legion dragon, but I would love to have this guy sitting on my shelf. And being the big dragon that he is, I think he can take a punch and send one back too. The I don't. Do you know much about Granomir?
I have no clue who you're talking about right now.
Honestly, I had to do a Google search before we got on here, so I knew what I was talking about when I said his name, even how to say his name. But then the newer figure, this one I know you'll know. This is going into Mythic Legions, and I chose Necronominus as my tank because
Oh,
I think being a big kind of like sorcerer, he's like a god in the Mythic Legions world pretty much, and you know he'll be able to raise the dead. Even if you're not attacking him, you're going to have to get through a wall of
yeah,
undead to even get to him. A lot of power behind this guy. He's going to be something to contend with.
I like that. So you can kind of do a skeletal army like meat shield strategy, like just
Exactly.
overwhelm you with numbers. The dragon is fair. I feel like any dragon character probably is deserving of a tank spot. I have no clue who that is, so I'm gonna have to look him up after we do this, or wait for the video to come out and see the picture then. Um, but all right, those are good tanks. A little surprised in the first one, and I think the second one's really strong. So my tanks, switching gears for my first tank, this one is very near and dear to me. It is one of my favorite animes. I say animes, but this is a Gundam character, specifically from the Endless Waltz. If you guys know, if you followed Gundam Wing Zero, well, it is Gundam Wing Zero. So it is the Gundam with the big angel wings, not the metallic wings. So this is like the newer version that they make in Endless Waltz. But I made this. I have the Gundam kit. I have the model kit somewhere back here. Love this character. Huge. I mean, it's just a giant robot with a gun that can destroy planets. Probably could have made an argument for a DPS there, but I feel like giant robots are deserving of tank spots, so that's what he's going to be. And I know people might not like that I'm calling him a robot right now. He is obviously a suit, so he is a mobile suit. But regardless, he's my tank, my first tank. My second tank, I'm going to go with here a newer figure that is made to order from Marvel Legends. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about, and that winged character is Dragon Man. I don't. Again, we both picked a dragon type character, which I think again, dragons tanks makes a lot of sense to me. So hard to go wrong there. Just big purple dragon can
Yeah.
fly. He can breathe. I believe he can breathe fire,
Yeah.
which is
Hmm.
probably helpful. I'm
And he's a
guessing.
robot.
Yeah, he's a what?
He's a robot, so he would fit kind of there with your Gundam too,
All right. I did not know that Dragon Man was a robot. So
or android. I don't know what the difference between android and
didn't he
robot
have like
are.
a?
Maybe
Did he
just
have like
either.
a robot heart? Or I thought he was. I'll be honest.
He
I
was
thought he
like
was a dragon.
he was built by, is it the Mad Thinker? You have to commenters tell me, was it the Mad Thinker? I think it was him. Um, but then I mean he works really well as a tank, but you also could have slotted him as a strategist too, because when he joins the Fantastic Four and Future Foundations, he's super smart too. So
Yeah, he's there's a lot of versatility there. Maybe more of like a hybrid character.
yeah,
I'll be honest, I didn't know much about him. I still apparently don't know much about him. I just saw that made to order figure and was like, I gotta have that. Once I saw people doing reviews on it, so he's one of my faves right now. Apparently, I need to pick up a comic book and actually learn about him. But
yeah,
he's gonna be my second tank, so that's what we'll do. We'll end with tanks there. I'm taking the Gundam and Dragon Man. You are going with.
Granomir and Necronominus.
Shall we move on to? I think we're gonna do DPS next, or damage per second.
Okay,
What it stands for? Attack characters.
okay. Another. I went a little older new and a little newer old. But I'll go with the old figure again first. This was something, we talked. Jordan is my co host on the Strong Collectors podcast. Back when we were in fourth grade, he had a action figure that I really wanted. I didn't get it until later on in life, but that was Man Bat from the
Ooh,
Batman cartoon.
yeah.
So this is my favorite version of Man Bat, and I think the figure is so cool. He's got kind of the translucent, plasticky wings, and he just looks like a monstrous giant bat. Again, maybe he would slot more into a tank role, but I think damage per second, you got a giant bat coming at you, he's going to do some damage pretty quick. Um, but yeah, again, that figure super cool. Now my newer figure, the other DPS on the team is going to be from the Spawn line, and that's Redeemer.
Oh,
Now, this figure, if you don't have it, folks, I'm sure you could get it for a nice, crisp $5 bill. It's on every clearance there ever was, which is a shame because I think this is an excellent action figure. The wings are really well sculpted. It's like all feather sculpted. There could be some more articulation in there, sure. But being in the Spawn universe, he's going to be like super OP. He's got, I don't exactly know I started reading like the Gunslinger stuff where he's around that timeline where he's on the Spawn's team, but I think he starts out on Heaven's side, and
mm-hmm.
Heaven's not really that good, but they're not bad. It's a whole convoluted system that Todd McFarlane's created,
Mm-hmm.
but he's going to be doing some damage. And again, super cheap figure, but a super good one. Very underrated, I say.
Yeah. If ever there was a character you wanted to army build, it could be Redeemer. I remember buying that figure thinking like this looks so good. Surely it's going to be worth a lot of money someday. I was very wrong on all accounts for all the Spawn figures actually, not just him.
True.
Because I got like the whole set thinking like these will be valuable, right?
And he
Not
got
right.
his mileage out of that figure too, because there's the regular Redeemer, there's the Platinum Redeemer where he's got kind of greenish wings. I think he did another version of Redeemer also. There was Dark Redeemer. Then
Mm.
there was some other character that's not Redeemer but looks exactly like Redeemer but brown. He got his mileage out of it, I'm saying.
Yeah, he did. All right. Okay, those are good DPSs. Actually, both characters that I did consider, and I'm glad I didn't go with either now. So we have some diversity here. Cool. So with my DPS characters that I'm gonna go with, for starters, I wanted to pick a Transformer. I'm getting really into Transformers right now. I changed it up a bit though. This is actually a figure that's right now in my store. If you guys want, check out gonewmeta.com. We have Onyx Prime, also known, as I found out today, as the Lord of the Beasts. He is one of the 13 original primes. I feel like if you're a prime, you're automatically probably a badass and could do
True.
quite a bit of damage. So he's one of the primes. He's like got a very spiritual, robotic, biological animal thing going on. Looks like he does a lot of damage. I'm sure he does do a lot of damage. And he can transform into like a winged creature that is like some type of what I would say is like a phoenix looking thing.
Yeah, it looks like dragon, lion, horse hybrid thing.
Yeah, yeah. The dread. Well, he has three transformations, is my
Oh.
understanding. Um, I've only done I've only done two of them. Still working. I'm still trying hard to become a good Transformers person. But anyways, just a very cool figure. I think would be a great DPS. So we're gonna add him in there. Also, just looks awesome. So, and then as my second DPS, We're gonna actually head back to McFarlane, and my McFarlane pick is going to be Hawk Girl. So we saw her in the most recent Superman movie. She's got a big mace. She can fly. She hits things really, really hard, and she has a very potent screech. So she is my pick for my second DPS. Really wanted to try to get some type of DC character in there. Felt like I needed to do that, and she's probably the first one I think of whenever I think of winged characters from anything DC multiverse related. So we're gonna go with her for that second DPS slot. And those are my DPS. So Onyx Prime, Hot Girl, and remind me who you took again. Was it Man Bat
Uh, and Redeemer.
and Redeemer? Okay, that's a solid. I think it's an even matchup so far. Um, I think Man Bat's an interesting. Which figure did you pick for Man Bat again?
From the Batman cartoon.
Oh
So like
yeah,
the
the
I don't,
translucent. Yeah, as you were saying,
yeah.
we are at the end of our new meta face-off picks, so we're gonna finish it up with the strategist. Just as a reminder, your strategist isn't necessarily a healer all the time. This can be somebody that just supports the team with some unique powers. Could be a healer, could not. It's up to us. We're the ones doing the show, so we can interpret it however we would like. In Marvel Rivals, Gambit is a strategist, so just keep that in mind. The guy that literally touches things and they explode is a healer. So do with it what you will. So Dakota, do you want to start us off with your picks?
Okay, so my first strategist. This is going to be a figure that I think I've pre-ordered. If I haven't pre-ordered it yet, I'm definitely going to be pre-ordering it, and that is Stratos from the 2000X line. I had the original 2000X Stratos, and that was one of my favorite of all the He-Man figures. And Stratos, just in general, is one of my favorite He-Man characters. So having him on the team, I think he's going to have a lot of the like strategy skills that we're going to need to kind of lead the team through our aerial combat here. And then my second strategist is going to be from the Gargoyles line, and that's Xanatos. So kind of the red armored up gargoyle. This is my favorite of the Gargoyles line. I kind of think of Xanatos as kind of the Gargoyles version of Tony Stark.
Hmm.
He built himself a suit of armor, super rich guy. He kind of dabbles in magic a little bit too, so he's got that going for him. Um, and yeah, if you wanted to include his drones, he's kind of bringing with him his own little army too. So I think Xanatos probably. I'd have to think long and hard about it, but out of all the characters on my team entirely, I think Xanatos might be my favorite of all of my characters here. Although I don't have Granomir the Giant Dragon, so maybe that's a little unfair. But
So as I'm thinking through your team again, because you picked out Necronominus, for those that don't know,
yep.
villain, Man Bat,
Mm-hmm.
villain. This guy, also villain.
Yeah.
Whether Stratos is a good guy, so I was just
Stratos is good. Granomir, I think, is good. I think he's kind of one of those like entities that's kind of like outside of good and bad. But I think he's mostly good.
mm,
Redeemer, again, I think he started on Heaven's side, which would be bad, and then now he's on Spawn's side, which would kind of be good if you consider Spawn good.
well, that's confusing. Yeah.
I know.
All right. Well, we'll go into my picks now for strategists. So, to start things out, I am going with a NECA figure, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Dr. Baxter. For those of you who don't recall, he does turn into, like Dakota learned, turns into a fly at some point. And becomes
I didn't
a
know that.
like evil genius Dr. Flyman, and he, has like made robots and monsters and has all sorts of like science powers. He's a very smart guy. He's like the right, he's like the evil genius in the TMNT
Mhm.
series. So I thought that would be a fun pick for strategist, especially getting like a NECA figure in there. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I'm just reading through the IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff now, and I'm on the third of the kind of compendium books, and right now he's still just a normal human scientist. So I guess I get to look forward to him becoming a fly.
yeah, becoming a normal fly scientist. Um, which you obviously then you haven't played the video games before then either, have you?
No, I haven't played any
Because it's
Ninja Turtle video
usually
games.
Dr. Baxter is like he's always like one of the first 3 or 4 villains you fight in every single like side-scrolling TMNT game. So it's like, oh yeah, I just defeated this guy like multiple times.
Hmm.
Maybe it doesn't bode well for him being a like competent strategist, but nonetheless, he'll do there.
Yeah.
My second strategist I am going with is from Mythic Legions. I am picking Scaphoid. For those of you who are familiar with the most recent Legions Con exclusive waves that came out, we actually sold a bunch of these. Scaphoid is the green skeleton. Actually, it's like the it's hard to miss him. He's a
Yeah.
green skeleton guy, and he has these very cool green skeleton wings that kind of come out of his back, and so I thought that was a fun one. And he's, I think the backstory with him is he's a little bit of like kind of his own like a mad scientist of the Mythic Legions world, obviously with magic and different types of potions and incantations. I believe is kind of the backstory, and I believe if I'm maybe I'm you would know the lore be better than me, but like the green, him being green is actually like a symbol of his like power that he was created with, or something like that. I want to
Yeah, he's kind of like I think it's like kind of a toxic skeleton reanimation. So then he's got his army of other, again, I can't remember if it's toxic or, like impure skeleton type stuff.
Yeah, that I think is what I remember reading. Now, what I like though is when I was messing around with this figure, he's got the green wings, but he's got like this little belt accessory that's like potions and stuff. So in my mind, I
Yeah.
was thinking, oh, this could be like all sorts of concoctions he could use to like heal or create force. I don't know, something to protect his teammates. I'm like, that's what we're gonna go
Hmm.
with. I'm just gonna make believe that these are helpful potions that he's using on his teammates, and so that makes him a strategist in my mind. And yeah, I think that is the end of my list for strategists. So we're going with Scaphoid and Dr. Baxter, and then I had Onyx Prime and Hot Girl for DPS, and Dragon Man and the Wing Zero Gundam for my tanks. So I feel like that's a good list. Feeling
Yeah.
confident about it. I don't know if it's a good list. We'll have to wait and see what the viewers think. You guys can make your comments. Tell us how trash our lists are or how awesome they are down below. Did you have any runner-up winged characters that you wish you could have gotten into your list?
For when I put Stratos in there, I also could have very easily put in a Buzz Off, but
Oh yeah,
I never had a Buzz Off from 2000X, and I don't think they've announced a Buzz Off from the new 2000X line from Mattel. I guess I could have gone Mondo. There's a Buzz Off there, because he's another one again. Wings, I love wings, so I was gonna love Buzz Off as a character just as much as I love Stratos. I'm surprised neither one of us picked Archangel, but I feel like that's too easy of a pick. Everybody expects you to pick Archangel, right?
yeah. Well, and I think the moment I thought Dragon Man, I'm like, well, I gotta put that was like one of my favorite figures of 2025. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna throw Dragon Man in there. And then I didn't want to, yeah, I didn't want to touch Marvel Legends again. I think we were both trying to stick to like one per line.
Yep.
You could probably there's probably 40 Marvel Legends that you could pick, or just immediately if you really wanted to. All right, well that wraps up the first ever new meta face off. So Dakota, thanks for joining me again. If you haven't yet, feel free to follow Strong Collectors, watch their podcast. They come out with some great stuff. And definitely follow me on Instagram and on TikTok if you don't do that already. Check in on us next week when we do hopefully a similar video. And yeah, we'll see you guys then.